Hello families, I hope everybody is well and welcome to this week's Talking News. First of all, I just wanted to thank all the families who were able to come along to school on Tuesday morning and support us for our first look in and learn. It was amazing to see you all come in such great numbers, and whilst it was probably busier than we anticipated, it seems to have been a great success. Thank you to the families who have given us some feedback on the little electronic questionnaire that we sent out. So the general consensus is that everybody enjoyed it. I would say of the 19 returns we've had, almost all families have said first thing in the morning suits. But where there is a common theme of improvement, it was to do with maybe either extending the time, particularly for families who have children in more than one stage, or staggering, perhaps primary 1 and 2 one day, 3 and 4 another day. So absolutely, we completely appreciate why that would be an area for improvement. So looking forward to our next look in and learn, we will put something like that in place where we can manage it a little bit better. The only, I suppose, consideration I have round about that is families maybe having to take more time off if they've got children at different stages. But we'll do our best to meet everybody's needs. But thanks for your feedback. If you've not had the chance to feedback and you felt you wanted to share something that might improve the experience, then take a few minutes to get that information back to us. In terms of life in the school this week, again, it's super busy. The children are working really hard. Miss Linscale and I have been meeting with the teachers this week, talking about learning and teaching in the classroom and what the themes for learning are. So what I can do just now is I can share some kind of universal themes in terms of learning at all stages across the school. And on Tuesday of next week, you will get your child's class newsletter out, which will give you the specifics round about subjects and concepts that they're learning. So universally within the school just now, obviously we've taken on Emotion Works. It's a massive part of our mental health and wellbeing curriculum. And a couple of weeks ago, we sent out the link with Miss Allen's nice Talking News explanation of the resource. And hopefully, if you did manage to come into the school on Tuesday, you saw some of that work in and around our school. The other universal learning we're doing is learning about children's rights. And you may or may not be aware that the rights of the child, so the UNCRC Convention, the rights of the child, now sit within Scotland's law. That's an absolute legal entitlement. So over the coming year and years, we will be working towards gaining our bronze, silver and gold Rights Respecting School Award. But this year we are aiming for our bronze award. So we're learning about children's rights in the classroom. Hopefully, I can talk some of the boys and girls into doing a Talking News and giving you some of their learning firsthand, and also we'll cover it in assembly. So we'll put information on our website when we get a little bit of time to get the website up to date, but in the meantime, that's something that's going on. So we've got Emotion Works, children's rights, and the other thing that's universally going on within the school is Talk for Writing. And I know that some of the classes, when families were in with us on Tuesday, that was the learning that they shared with you. So across our school, when we're teaching writing, we give the children a model text and they learn, so they imitate the text. Then they innovate the text by adding different details themselves and exploring some ideas that if they were going to write a similar story, how would they make it different? What vocabulary would they choose? And then they innovate and write their own story. And the reason we use that kind of scaffolded process is so that the children are really getting used to the plot of a story, effective openers, paragraph and sequence. And it's proven to be a really, really valuable means of teaching writing, which actually is quite a difficult skill to master. So universally in the school, we're doing Talk for Writing. So if you ask your wee person about what story are they learning or what story are they writing just now, they should be able to tell you. We'll also send out a parent information leaflet with the Talking News so that if you're interested, you can get a little bit more information on that. In terms of our parental engagement calendar, that went out, I can't remember whether it was last week or the week before. Please stick that somewhere or have it accessible. Actually, I think maybe what I might do next week is get coloured paper copy out to everybody, and you can stick it to your fridge, because I think we emailed it out, and you can see the pinks on that are opportunities to come in and join us in the school. Some of the feedback from Look In and Learn on Tuesday spoke about how lovely it was to be back in the building. We were over the moon to have you, and it's great just to feel a bit more part of your children's learning and schooling. So there's plenty of opportunities there, so just keep a wee eye on that. So if a paper copy didn't go out before, I will do that for you next week, and just stick it on your notice board or your fridge. In terms of other wee bits and pieces that were sent out over the last week, the parent booking system for Parents' Night, we've not used that before. That has gone out to all families. Normally, we kind of do that manually on a great big bit of paper, and then you get a wee invite out. But we're handing over to families so that you have the flexibility to book in the time slots that will suit round about any other considerations that you have. Parents' Night will be in the Assembly Hall as it used to be before COVID. So it'll be a face-to-face Parents' Night, but we'll get a little bit more information on that, how that's going to run out to you post the September weekend. I'm just thinking of other things that came into my mind this morning. Loads of boys and girls have wellies on this morning. I'm so happy to see that, because I suppose one of the COVID keeps for us is it's really in the children's best interest, even if it's raining, to be out playing at playtime and lunchtime. We feel they really get the best out the school day if they're getting those opportunities to get fresh air and play outdoors. Now, every child in the school has a waterproof suit that our lovely PTA provided in 2020. So we've got the clothing, but what we're just doing a wee reminder on is if the children can wear just good winter footwear to keep their feet dry, so they can go out and have a great time, especially if they put their wetsuits on. They can splash in puddles and they can have a great time outside. So that was brilliant this morning, because loads of the children have got wellies on. I don't have mine on, and I should have had, but I will be better prepared after the September weekend. The last thing, I just wanted to do a little tiny gentle reminder on a wee matter of health and safety. Some families are cutting through the car park in the morning to drop children before school and pick up at the end of the day. Can I gently and respectfully ask, can you just come round and use the playground? It's a risk consideration, and whilst all our cars are parked, we still do have delivery traffic that comes in and out of the school car park at varying times of the day, and I just would like to mitigate that risk. So if you don't mind, can you use the gate at the cherry blossom tree or the gate up at the nursery and just come in to our playground that way? That is all the news for this week. I hope you have a lovely September weekend if you're fortunate enough to have Friday and Monday off. If you're not fortunate enough to have Friday and Monday off, give your children a duster and a hoover and get them to tidy up for you, so when you come in from work tomorrow, you've something less to do. So have a lovely weekend, and we will be in touch next week with next week's Talking News.